Welcome to Toxic Ties. In this video, we will review 5 ways to set healthy boundaries. In the previous video, we shared the 5 tips on setting boundaries. Here, we will break down each tip in detail. Buckle up. Here are 5 general tips on how to set boundaries. First, identify your needs and priorities. Determination of needs and priorities is essential for success in life. When we know what is truly important to us, we can focus our time, energy, and resources on achieving those things. This involves identifying our values, interests, and goals and ranking them in order of importance. Prioritizing helps us to make the most of our limited resources by allocating them to the areas of our life that matter most. This means that we must be mindful of how we spend our time and energy and be intentional about our choices. One way to determine our needs and priorities is to take time for self-reflection. This involves asking ourselves important questions such as, what do I value most? What are my passions and interests? And what are my long-term goals? We can also assess our current activities and commitments and ask ourselves whether they align with our values and goals. Once we have identified our needs and priorities, we can use tools like goal setting and time management to help us achieve them. This involves breaking down larger goals into smaller, achievable steps and creating a schedule that allows us to focus our time and energy on the activities that will bring us closer to our goals. In conclusion, determining what is important to us and prioritizing accordingly is crucial to living a fulfilling and successful life. It requires us to be self-aware, intentional, and disciplined, but the rewards are well worth the effort. Second, communicate your boundaries clearly and assertively. Communication is essential to any relationship, and setting and communicating boundaries is a critical aspect of healthy communication. Boundaries define the limits of what we are willing to tolerate in our relationships. Communicating them clearly and assertively can help prevent misunderstandings and conflicts. When we communicate our boundaries, we let others know what we need to feel safe, respected, and valued in our relationships. This involves setting limits on behavior that makes us feel uncomfortable, disrespected, or violated. Some examples of boundaries might include limits on physical touch, communication, or personal space. Communicating our boundaries clearly and assertively can help prevent misunderstandings and conflicts in our relationships. It involves using clear and direct language to express our needs and being assertive in enforcing our boundaries when they are crossed. This means saying no to behaviors that violate our boundaries and taking action to protect ourselves when necessary. Effective communication of boundaries requires us to be self-aware and reflective about our needs, values, and beliefs. It also requires us to respect and consider others' needs and feelings. We can communicate our boundaries through various methods, including face-to-face conversations, written agreements, or nonverbal cues. In summary, communicating our boundaries clearly and assertively is a vital aspect of healthy communication in relationships. It helps to prevent misunderstandings and conflicts by setting clear guidelines for behavior and expressing our needs and values. Communicating our boundaries effectively can build more authentic and fulfilling relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. Third, use I statements to express your feelings and avoid blame or accusations. Using I statements is an essential component of effective communication. It involves expressing your feelings and thoughts about a particular situation using language that reflects your own perspective rather than placing blame or accusations on others. I statements are a valuable tool in communication because they focus on the speaker's experience rather than attributing negative behavior to the listener. They allow you to express your emotions in a non-confrontational way that can prevent misunderstandings and defensiveness from the other person. For example, instead of saying, "You're always late," and "it's so disrespectful," you could say, "I feel frustrated when you're late because it makes me feel like my time isn't valued." By using an I statement, you express your own experience and feelings rather than blame the other person. When using I statements, being specific and honest about your feelings is important. Vague statements like, "I feel bad," can be confusing and unhelpful, while particular statements like, "I feel anxious when you don't answer my calls," can effectively communicate your needs and concerns. By using I statements, you can express your feelings in a way that is honest, clear, and respectful. This can help build stronger relationships and promote healthier communication. Next, be willing to negotiate or compromise when appropriate. being willing to negotiate and compromise is vital to healthy relationships and effective communication. It involves being open to different perspectives and finding a mutually agreeable solution. Compromise means finding a middle ground where both parties can feel satisfied with the outcome. Each person must give a little to achieve a solution that works for everyone. Conversely, negotiation involves discussing and potentially adjusting the terms of a situation or agreement to find a mutually beneficial resolution. Being willing to negotiate or compromise can help build stronger relationships by demonstrating respect and understanding for the needs and perspectives of others. It can also prevent conflicts from escalating into more significant problems and promote a more harmonious environment. However, it's important to note that not all situations require compromise, and standing firm on certain values and beliefs is important. When considering a compromise or negotiation, it's crucial to assess the situation and determine if it's appropriate to adjust your position. A compromise or negotiation can only be successful if both parties are open to finding a solution. When negotiating or compromising, it's important to approach the situation with an open mind and be willing to listen to the other person's perspective. It's also essential to clearly and respectfully communicate your needs and concerns. Overall, being willing to negotiate or compromise is integral to healthy communication and building solid relationships. It requires a willingness to listen, understand, and find a mutually beneficial solution. Lastly, practice self-care and self-compassion, and don't feel guilty for prioritizing your well-being. Self-care and self-compassion are crucial to maintaining mental and physical health. It involves prioritizing your well-being by caring for your physical, emotional, and mental needs. This includes setting boundaries, taking time for yourself, and engaging in activities that promote your overall well-being. Self-care can take many forms, from getting enough sleep and exercise to engaging in creative activities or spending time in nature. It can also involve seeking support when needed, such as talking to a friend, family member, or mental health professional. It's important to remember that prioritizing your well-being is not selfish or self-centered. In fact, taking care of yourself can help you be more present and practical in your relationships and responsibilities. When you feel good about yourself, you are better equipped to handle challenges and approach situations with a clearer and more positive mindset. However, it's also common to experience feelings of guilt or shame when prioritizing your own needs, especially if you feel like you're neglecting other responsibilities or obligations. It's important to recognize that taking care of yourself is not a luxury, but a necessity. When you practice self-care and self-compassion, you are ultimately investing in your long-term well-being and happiness. Overall, practicing self-care and self-compassion involves taking the time to prioritize your physical, emotional, and mental health. It means setting boundaries, seeking support when you need it, and engaging in activities that promote your well-being. Remember, taking care of yourself is not selfish. It's essential for living a happy, healthy, and fulfilling life. Please keep in mind, these 5 tips take practice and consistency. Let's face it, setting boundaries can be challenging, especially if you have been used to accommodating others or have fears of rejection or conflict. However, it's a crucial skill to develop to protect your well-being, maintain healthy relationships, and achieve personal goals. It's important to note that everyone's experiences and boundaries are unique, and other signs or factors may influence one's ability to set boundaries. Additionally, setting boundaries is not a one-time task, but an ongoing process that requires self-reflection, practice, and adaptation to changing circumstances. The bright side is that it's something that, with some work, can be improved. When it comes to setting boundaries, what boundaries have you made recently or need to make? Leave a comment and share your experience. Please like and share this video if you find it to be helpful. Please subscribe and don't forget to turn on your notifications. We appreciate you taking the time to watch.